If you're part of the law enforcement family, this is your show. Here we talk about all things Leo family life, the good, the bad, the funny, and the sad, and everything in between. Hey guys, how's everyone doing? I hope you are well. I am doing great. Except for, I have to rant about something because, we have a whole segment for that. So, guess what? It's time for Pardon My Preach.
It's time for Pardon My Preach.
All right, guys, pardon my preach, but why are people so damn stupid? Why? Why? Can somebody explain that to me? I don't know. We've been wondering this for forever, right? So here's what's got me riled up today. So I posted this video here.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna make people mad. Here we go. Just hear me out until the end, okay? I think that Joe Biden is going to go down as the worst president in American history. Now, I'm not asking to argue. This doesn't have to be a fight. I just want you, if you disagree with me, I just want you to tell me why you think he's a good president in the comments. That's it. Change my mind. I'm not going to fight you. I just want to know why you think he's a good president and why I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong. Thank you.
And in fairness, it's everything that I expected from the comments section. And yet, it drives me crazy. Drives me crazy. Why does it drive me crazy? What's driving me crazy? Here's what's driving me crazy. If you didn't already guess what the responses were, now I knew when I made that video, I knew what the Biden supporters were going to say because he's not Trump. Yep, that was the winning answer. Ding, ding, ding. Winner, winner. No chicken dinner. No prize for you. It's the never Trump crowd that has got me riled up today. And obviously they've got me riled up for quite some time. They've got all of us riled up because they're so damn stupid. Part of me wants for there to be like a requirement to take an intelligence test to vote. Like you have to, like it doesn't mean you have to have a high IQ. I don't care about a high IQ, but you have to at least have a basic understanding of what's going on in the world, what these candidates stand for, and what they represent. And if you can't answer any of those questions, if you don't know what their platform is, what they're running on, what they support, what they've done in their lives, in their political careers, if they're career politicians, I don't know. I don't think you should be allowed to vote until you can pass that test. I'm sure I'll get some pushback on that. Is that even going to happen? Of course not. Of course it's not going to happen. Let's be real. But I'm just saying, I feel like it would be a good idea. Like in order to vote, you need to understand, you need to know what the hell you're voting for, because your answer cannot be because he's not somebody else, because I don't like the way he looks, or I don't like the way she looks. That's not a reason to vote for or against someone. And I know that we've been doing this for centuries, for years, for a really long time. But when you see comments like these, it just makes your head explode, fully explode. So that's it. That's all I'm saying. Be better. Be smarter. Don't be such a tool. Educate yourself. Learn something. That's all I've got to say on that. Let's go over to our headlines. All right, guys, let's talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. Now, I'm just going to give you the lowdown. I'm going to act like nobody knows what's going on here and you don't know the full story. And maybe you don't, because I don't know, you probably have a life And this is not all you have going on just following this trial, though a lot of people across the country are avidly following this trial. It's been a soap opera, to say the least. I honestly have not been watching it. I've just been getting the highlights because, again, like you, I have a life. I got things to do. So I'm going to give you the lowdown right here. It's from the Daily Wire, and I'm just going to read it off to you, okay? And I know that's cheating. I should be just looking at you and telling you things, but no, we're not doing that. We're reading. Let's see. The murder trial of Kyle Rittenhouse began last week, throwing the politically fraught case into the national spotlight again as the teen awaits his fate for shooting and killing 2 men and injuring another during the riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin last summer. The trial has no shortage of passionate moments so far. The judge and prosecution have clashed repeatedly, and Rittenhouse broke down in tears when he took the stand on Wednesday, and we will be chatting about that shortly, too. When graphic footage of the shootings was played for jurors, several appeared visibly upset. Meanwhile, the muddied facts of the case have been gradually clearer, relieving the case of some of the rumors that have plagued it for more than a year. Rittenhouse was charged with 5 felony charges and 1 misdemeanor charge. The most serious charge is intentional homicide, Wisconsin's top murder charge, while others are reckless homicide, attempted homicide, 2 counts of reckless endangerment, and being a minor illegally in possession of a firearm. He was also charged with violating curfew, but that charge was dismissed by the judge on Tuesday. He has pled not guilty to all charges. Rittenhouse, who is now 18, lives in Antioch, a northern suburb of Chicago, about 15 miles from Kenosha. His lawyers have pointed out that his father lived in Kenosha and he worked in Kenosha County as a lifeguard. So that already dispels one of the biggest myths that have been going on about this case about Kyle Rittenhouse. One of the things the mainstream lying media has been saying for quite some time is that Rittenhouse was not a member of the community. He didn't live there. He crossed county lines or state lines and did not belong there. He did belong there. His father lived there and he lived part-time there with his father. So he did belong there. Let's see. On August 25th of last year, when he was 17, Rittenhouse decided to patrol the downtown Kenosha area alongside other armed men in order to protect a used car dealership from looting and vandalism. The city had devolved into rioting over the police shooting of Jacob Blake, a black man, by a white Kenosha police officer. Rittenhouse armed himself with a Smith & Wesson M&P 15, which is an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle that police say his friend, Dominic Black, illegally bought from, as well as a medical kit. The gun was reportedly kept in a safe at Black's stepfather's house in Kenosha, and prosecutors acknowledged during the trial that Rittenhouse had not crossed state lines with the gun, because that was another one of their big contentions, was that he crossed state lines, as you know. So he did not do that. Shortly before midnight, Rittenhouse was accosted by protesters, including Joseph Rosenbaum, who threw a plastic bag at him and who Rittenhouse says tried to grab his rifle. At that point, Rittenhouse shot Rosenbaum 4 times, killing him. The first shooting riled protesters who chased Rittenhouse until he tripped and fell. A still unidentified man kicked Rittenhouse in the head, and Rittenhouse fired at him twice but missed. Seconds later, another man, Anthony Huber, tried to hit Rittenhouse with a skateboard and grab his gun. Rittenhouse fired at Huber and fatally shot him. At that point, Gage Grosskreutz approached Rittenhouse with his handgun pointed in the direction of Rittenhouse's head, and Rittenhouse shot him too, injuring his right bicep but not killing him. Rittenhouse was arrested and charged the day after the shootings. His friend Black was also arrested and charged with illegally supplying a minor with a firearm. So legal experts are saying that Rittenhouse's self-defense case is strong, but if he loses, the judge in his case, Judge Bruce Schroeder, has a reputation for harsh sentences. However, Schroeder is also known for giving defendants a lot of leeway to make their case beforehand. Friction between the defense, the prosecution, and the judge appeared even before the trial began. So yeah, it's been very contentious. It's been very combative in there between the prosecution and the judge. The judge is he's a pretty interesting guy. If you haven't checked out any of this footage, you really should, because it's pretty amazing. Let's see. So a week prior to the trial, prosecutors tried to bar the defense from referring to the men Rittenhouse shot as, quote, rioters, looters, or arsonists. But the judge denied that request, saying that the defense may refer to them that way if they provide evidence to support it. The judge also told the prosecutors they cannot refer to the men shot as victims. The trial began on Monday of last week, and a total of 20 jurors were seated the first day. The 12 jurors who will decide a verdict will be revealed later, the judge said. No one wants to be here, one potential juror told the court as jury selection was ongoing. It's scary. You're scared to go to your car, scared to go home. The prosecution called a total of 22 witnesses, some of who appeared to actually bolster the defense's case. So anyhow, so there's a lot more here. There's a lot going on. There was a lot of back and forth. The mainstream media played a huge part in causing a lot of problems here with false information, misinformation, and flat out lies about what was going on. And interestingly enough, and I say that sort of sarcastically, not sort of sarcastically, I say that sarcastically, interestingly enough, the mainstream media kind of left out the part where all three of the people involved in this incident that Kyle Rittenhouse shot were felons. Does that mean that they deserve to be shot in that moment? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. But the portrayal of them as victims, as innocent people, is absurd. They were there to riot and loot. They were there to engage in criminal activity. Should Kyle Rittenhouse have been there and done what he did? Probably not. It was probably not the best choice for a 17-year-old to be out patrolling his streets. I get it. I commend him for wanting to defend his community and the property of people he cared for. Was it the best choice? Probably not. It does not change the fact that he was attacked and he was defending himself. There is a very strong case with video evidence that Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense. But we all know, regardless of what the jury decides, the court of public opinion will make their own verdict. And we all know that there's going to be riots. And we all know that because that's what they do every single time. People keep saying, oh, well, if the verdict is that he's innocent, they're going to riot in Kenosha. The fact is they're going to riot no matter what, because that's what they do. They don't care about the people that died, the supposed victims of Kyle Rittenhouse. They just want to riot and loot and destroy things. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about this case in a little slightly more abstract way, but in a few minutes. But for now, we're going to move on to the next update on the Astroworld Festival tragedy. So it's still more of the same. More information is coming out about Travis Scott, who is the headliner, creator of this event, and the similar incidents that he's had at previous concerts where he is accused of inciting violence and chaos and all of those things. And he's pled guilty to those in the past. So there's going to be serious consequences for him. And sadly, another death was confirmed as a result of the stampede at the festival. And it was a 9-year-old child who was trampled. He was in the hospital with major organ damage and brain swelling. He has passed away. So that brings the death count up to 10 people dead from this awful tragedy, this completely avoidable tragedy. That case is still unfolding. There's going to be lots of lawsuits and probably quite a few criminal charges filed in this case. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. All right, so here's a disturbing update on the Loudoun County rape case. If you don't recall, that was the case of a transgender male, biologically male student who entered the girls' lavatory and raped a 15-year-old female student. So the mom of the skirt-wearing teen who raped a classmate in girls' bathroom blames the victim, says he just wanted sex. I kid you not, that is the headline. I will read this to you. Loudoun County, Virginia, the mother of the convicted teen rapist in Loudoun County has denied her son is transgender and insisted he did not sexually assault anyone. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, an unnamed mother defended her unnamed 15-year-old son, saying he did not rape his victim. Instead, she blamed his male hormones and said the sex between her son and the victim was consensual. The boy, who is not named due to his juvenile status, was found guilty on October 25th of sexually assaulting a 15-year-old girl inside a bathroom stall for females at Stonebridge High School. The attack occurred on May 28th, and he was dressed in a skirt at the time of the attack. Loudoun County Juvenile Court Chief Judge Pamela Brooks found sufficient evidence during an October 25th trial to sustain charges of forcible sodomy and forcible fellatio on a 15-year-old classmate. Following the May attack, the boy had been transferred to Broad Run High School, which is also located in Loudoun County. The boy is accused of sexually assaulting another 15-year-old girl at the new school on October 6th. In the latest incident, the boy allegedly pulled a girl into a classroom and inappropriately touched her. The boy is due back in court on charges for the alleged sex attack in October and will be sentenced for the May attack after that, according to the New York Post. Let's see. In the Daily Mail interview, the mother, who asked not to be identified for the sake of her underage son, spoke with the news outlet from her townhouse in Loudoun County. She defended her son and told the Daily Mail that her son is not transgender. Direct quote, "First of all, he's not transgender, and I think this is all doing an extreme disservice to those students who actually identify as transgender." The mother also suggested he was being used as a political pawn during election season. He's a 15-year-old boy that wanted to have sex in the bathroom with someone that was willing, and they're twisting this just enough to make it a political hot button issue. Okay. He's convicted. He sexually assaulted a 15-year-old girl in the girls' bathroom. This is confirmed. This is confirmed. And here is another case of a shitty mother defending something indefensible. And here's a shining light of an example of bad parenting right there. So, so much for the ultra liberal mantra of, believe women, believe victims. I guess that's not the case here, right? Can we lock her up? Can we lock the mother up too? I feel like she should be locked up as well. I can't stand these people. I really can't. Here's a look at the not trans student. Okay. So yeah, we will keep you posted on the latest in that as well. I think we're gonna end the headlines with just this lovely gem from President Biden. Yeah, isn't he a beauty? So I did say we were going to talk a little bit more about that Rittenhouse trial in sort of kind of an abstract way. So that's a perfect time to introduce a new segment. It's called What They Say.
Shut your mouth.
Oh my goodness, social media is just so fun, isn't it? So listen, I'm perfectly aware that when you put stuff out there, people have something to say about it. And I'm fine with that. But sometimes I just gotta shake my head and say, wow. So I posted this video here.
LeBron James had this to say about Kyle Rittenhouse. Let me get this straight. Kyle is crying over almost being killed and having to kill someone else, and you are crying over
LeBron James' tearful hug.
He crying in their locker room this week after yet another loss.
Oh, your heart
Poor
goes out.
LeBron James.
Oh, poor guys.
He made the big decision and he went away from home and now he's losing his
I won a championship. I just wanted to take my talents to South Beach and win.
Chewy and Fee.
Oh Lord, LeBron James is crying on the sideline. Why?
he's such a notorious crybaby that somebody actually made a song for it.
Oh, homie, all you do is cry to the refs and fall, homie. Now why you fall on me? You ain't no defender, homie. You break a shot and stay leaving your defender slowly. Now put your wig back on, your hair is screaming. Telling Cleveland you can win, but you're dreaming. Cry, baby, cry, baby, cry, baby.
LeBron, fuck all the way off.
And I just wanted to share with you a couple of the comments that were made on this video. So we've got that thug Rittenhouse had no remorse. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't even need to respond to that. Whatever, that's your opinion, fine. And then we have, at least LeBron tears were real. That thug had crocodile eyes. Get out of here. Okay, so so the only part I really want to address in that comment is the get out of here. Now listen, I know he's being figurative. I know he's not telling me literally to get out of here, wherever here may be. But still, this is like, if you ask me, which you didn't, but I'm telling you anyway, this is like walking into someone's house, looking around and saying, I don't like any of your decor. I don't like it at all. I think it's kind of crappy. Get out. It's like somebody telling you to get out of your own house because they don't like your house. It's kind of the same thing. Kid, you just came into my house. You came into my house, my whatever, my account, my profile, whatever the hell you want to call it. You came into my house to tell me to get out? Are you kind of stupid or what? I'm not going to get out, honey. You get out. You get out. Come on now. That's just silly. That is just silly. I'm not going to get out, honey. In fact, I'm going to make more videos. Maybe I'll even tag you in them so that you can see every single one of them. What are you going to do? You're going to cancel me? Are you going to cancel me? Go ahead. I'm not here for you, kid. I'm here because of you, because of your type. That's why I'm here, but I'm not here for you, honey. Go home. Go back to mommy's basement, you silly little troll. Oh, and then the last one is, what does he say? Are you somehow, it's one word. You don't have to separate the two words, but that's okay. Are you somehow trying to take up for Rittenhouse? Am I somehow trying to take up for Rittenhouse? Okay, so I have to answer your question. I have to answer your question with a question. Are you somehow trying to take up for 3 convicted felons? Are you somehow trying to take up for a sex offender, a registered sex offender? Are you trying to take up for a man who pointed a pistol at a 17-year-old child's head? Are you taking up for a guy who tried to beat a 17-year-old kid to death with a skateboard? Are you trying to take up for a man who threw a brick at a child's head? Are you trying to take up for 3 men who stupidly attacked an armed citizen? Is that who you're trying to take up for? Okay. I mean, that's certainly your choice. If those are your people, if that's your crowd, Okay, sure. Oh, but or since it was a video about LeBron, are you taking up for LeBron? Is he your bud? Are you pals? Do you think that the multi-millionaire basketball player gives a shit about you? Oh, honey, you're funny. Uh, good luck with that. So yeah, so those are the comments on there, and those are my responses to them. They're just silly, aren't they? So, in conclusion, yes, I'm taking up for Rittenhouse. Yeah, I am. You don't like it? Don't watch my videos, dummy. All right, so that's that. So let's move on to what is not in the news today. All righty, so our first not in the news story is about the Peloton. Peloton? Is that how you say it? I don't even know. Peloton. I'm pretty sure that's right. Somebody can correct me. You can correct me. Correct me in the comments. I don't care. I don't mind. So the headline is, want a little woke with your workout? Peloton bans Let's Go Brandon from their platform and pushes defund the police. Interesting. Interesting. So if you are pro law enforcement, if you're part of the law enforcement family and you have a Peloton, I'm not saying to boycott them. I'm not part of the cancel culture. I don't believe in that crap. I'm just saying that if that is a problem for you, just want you to be aware of it. So let's see. All right, so I'm just going to read this to you. It says, want a little woke with your morning workout? How about a little virtue signaling while you pedal your $2,500 stationary bike while being screamed at on screen for $39 a month by a coach? That's in quotes, so I'm giving you a little wink with it. A coach with a perfectly sculpted body and perfect hair. Then Peloton is for you. Just don't use the hashtag Let's Go Brandon on your profile. But if you put hashtag Black Lives Matter or hashtag defund the police, no problem. So according to a report by PJ Media, users have been reporting that when they have attempted to connect to the platform using the hashtag Let's Go Brandon, they get an error message. By the way, if you don't know the whole Let's Go Brandon thing, I'm sure you do, but just in case somebody doesn't, that's this right here.
Unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first two stages and just watch and learn. What did you learn that helped you there in those?
All right. So thanks to lockdowns amid the coronavirus pandemic, Peloton became one of the most popular home fitness companies in that market. This was primarily a result of power mad governors leaving reefer shops, fast food restaurants, and liquor stores open as they shuttered gyms. All a matter of priorities. So let me just pause here and tell you that the author of this post is Pat Droney, and I really, really love Pat Droney's articles here on law enforcement today. So you really should go over and read them for yourself too. He's got quite a few that are give me a chuckle every time. I like the snark. Oh, let's see. As PJ Media noted, thousands of people around the world use their video-connected, highly overpriced stationary bikes and treadmills to participate in live classes with fitness instructors or are able to stream selected classes from an online library. And I agree, he says here, who hasn't seen the commercials with a coach yelling, "Let's go Peloton" to their virtual class? I've seen them, and I don't even really watch TV, and I've seen them. Unless you've been in a coma, the term Let's Go Brandon has been all the rage since September, when a reporter from NBC Sports was interviewing a race winner, Brandon Brown, at Talladega International Speedway. During the exchange, the NASCAR crowd began yelling, "F Joe Biden," which was clearly heard by anyone watching. In an attempt to give cover to the inept Joe Biden, the reporter said, "Oh, listen, they're yelling, 'Let's go, Brandon.'" And a new phenomenon was born. Since that time, the phrase has gone viral, claiming the #1 song on iTunes, being put on shirts, bumper stickers, and Fauci face masks, and has been chanted in stadiums from college football to MLB and the NFL. Even Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has called the current administration the Brandon administration. So apparently Peloton wants nothing to do with it. As the phrase gained popularity, a number of users started adding the tag to their profiles. However, someone must have gotten triggered, and soon Peloton apparently banned use of the tag. Anyone who attempted to log on using the hashtag received the following message: "This tag does not meet our guidelines. Please contact support if you believe this is an error." So yes, so what else is new? Is this really a surprise? Of course it's not a surprise. Another woke company supporting the radical left agenda and censoring anyone who disagrees. So if you, like I said, if you're a Peloton user and a Peloton fan, I mean, I know you dropped a chunk of change on there. It's probably not something you want to part with easily, but I'm sure you can get your money back. I mean, people are, I'm sure somebody will buy you. You'll only lose a few bucks. Get rid of it. And again, not encouraging anyone to boycott or ban anyone. Everybody's free will. Support whoever you want. I never would have spent that kind of money on a stationary bike to begin with. But if you want to and you have, good for you. I stick to kickboxing. That's my favorite. All right, let's talk about something really nice that is not in your mainstream news. This is a story about lifelong friends, Massachusetts police and fire chiefs to retire together after 43 years. They were born 4 days apart. Fire Chief Jeff Blanchard and Police Chief Walter Sweeney had been friends since middle school. This is in Hanover, Mass. They've been living parallel lives, and it says that trend will continue later this year when they both officially retire from their respective departments after 43 years of working for the town. The pair have been friends since they first met in middle school and have been working public safety in Hanover since they were teenagers. They started as call firefighters and dispatchers, then Sweeney went on to become a police officer and Blanchard became a firefighter. So congratulations to both chiefs on their impending retirement. Enjoy this next chapter. It's very exciting and a really sweet story. So I like it. Also, not in your mainstream news, we will pay tribute to a fallen officer. Virginia officer was shot and killed during a welfare check. Officer Michael Chandler, who was 29, also served as a volunteer firefighter. Mike's loss will be felt by our town and across all of Wise County, said Big Stone Gap Police Chief Stephen Ham on Facebook. Not only did he serve as an officer with the town of Big Stone Gap Police Department, but also as a volunteer with the Big Stone Gap Fire Department. We send our love and prayers to the family, both blood and blue, of Officer Michael Chandler. All right, guys, I want to share one last story with you that you won't find in the mainstream news. This is another uplifting one. It is about a veteran who founded a nonprofit and shares scriptural messages of strength and hope with first responders, military, and bereaved families. The nonprofit Point 27 was founded in 2014 by Colonel David Dodd, U.S. Army, retired, in order to share hope and encouragement with thousands upon thousands of members of the U.S. military, first responders, and bereaved families of heroes. So if you would like to help out and support this wonderful organization, I will include a link to their website and their donation page in the comments section or in the show's notes, wherever you might be seeing or hearing this. As always, I'd like to end on a high note, and that, I think, was it. So thank you so much for joining me this week. We'll see you next week with a surprise guest. Take care. The Blue Family Unity Show was created, written, and produced by Elsa Kurt. Music written and produced by Dan Tracy. If you would like to be a guest on the Blue Family Unity Show, contact bluefamilyunity@gmail.com.